my dear students and viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Ghulam Sanwar, lecturer, English, Higher Secondary School, Magam, Badgam, and today I am once again here just to discuss some grammatical rules. And you know the importance of grammar, how important it is. That's why I have been directed to deal with grammar today, and today I have chosen a very important topic in grammar, that is concord. And if you don't know concord, there is another word for it, another phrase for it, that is agreement of verb with its subject. Agreement of verb with its subject. Yes, it is in this rule in class 10th, 11th and 12th class in your syllabus, and I hope that you will be very careful to know what this concord is or what this agreement of verb with subject is. And generally when people speak English, not only the students, but I mean to say those persons who are the speakers of English here in India, in our Kashmir. So what they do, sometimes they are doing totally wrong, they are totally mistaken where to use these verbs with the subject. And you know what is a subject and what is a verb in a sentence, and that's why I don't want to discuss the subject or verb, but my point here is agreement of verb with its subject. That is what kind of verb we use when we are talking about a subject. I have given here an example first, but see the first rule first. A verb must always agree with its subject. This is the first rule. A verb must always agree with its subject. Please write it down, note it down, because later on you forget things. And these are the rules that when you keep in mind, when you read these or study these again and again, you will remember these rules. Keep your pens and copies ready to write. When the first rule is a verb must always agree with its subject, that is when the subject is singular. First of all, let me once again, a verb must always agree with its subject in number and person. What is the number and person? Number means whether these are singular or plural. When I talk about person, whether we write first person, second person, third person, singular, plural, whatever it is, that is, I say, number and person. So a verb must always agree with its subject in number and person. That is, when the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. When the subject is plural, so mind it, plural, yes, repeat it, plural, because I have seen that students in classes, they just use this for they give some other pronunciations. Some say plural, some say some plural, something else, but the word is plural, P-L-U-R-A-L. Yes, repeat it, plural. Yes, plural. Good. It means more than one. When the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. So talking about subject and verb, agreement, connection, I have given the examples for this rule first. See, the shops, here the shops, so it is clear, subject is plural, so we have to write are. The shops are closed today. Okay, we cannot write is, it is clear to you, because subject is plural, not singular. A party of students, see why I have written this. In this sentence it is clear, but here in this sentence students are mistaken, teachers are mistaken. So a party of students. If I put you the question whether this is singular or plural, I am talking about singular or plural. Students are there, maybe 20 in that party, but I am talking a party of students. So it is not plural, the subject is singular. The party, a party of students, we can say has arrived. We cannot say have arrived. Here not this. So singular subject, not plural subject, because I am talking it in general. I am talking about a party. No doubt they are the students, many in number. A party of students once again waiting for a teacher, was waiting. We cannot say were waiting, because, or we can say has been waiting. We cannot say have been waiting, because the subject is singular. So the first rule is, when the subject is singular, verb must be singular. When the subject is plural, verb must be plural. But in English there are always exceptions. You know exceptions? Sometimes the rules, they don't match. A rule does not match. Sometimes there are sentences in such a way where these rules don't work. For example, if I talk about the same rule, there are exceptions. Where is the exception? When a sentence is a conditional one, or when, what I say, when a sentence is a conditional one. In conditional or exclamatory sentences, there is not, this rule does not follow there. So I'll write a sentence here. So in exceptions you may write that in conditional sentences and in exclamatory sentence this rule does not work. For example, I'll write here, God bless you. Okay, one. This is exclamatory sentence, and I have to write here this. I can write this sentence in two ways, God bless you or may God bless you, because this is a sort of prayer. Now the second, if I were at your place, I would help him. See here, were. In English there are different kinds of 4 types of conditional sentences, you know that. Zero conditional, first conditional, second and third. And this is the second conditional, where we use would and we use past tense. But here, if I were you, maybe some of the students may think that here is subject singular. Definitely subject is singular, but we cannot write singular verb here. The verb is plural, because this is exclamatory sentence and this is the conditional sentence. That's why I say in conditional and exclamatory sentences we do not use. And see, let me tell you once again, when I say God bless you, for example, if I say he plays football, okay, here this plays, we use s here or es with third person singular. God is here third person singular, so it needs s or es. So here it should be then God blesses you. But this is an exclamatory type of sentence where we say God bless you, not God blesses you. So clear now? This is the first rule that I was talking about. When the subject is singular, verb must be singular. When the subject is plural, verb must be plural. Now the second rule I will be talking about. I will write and I will tell you the rule. You will please write down, because it is not possible that I will write every rule here. When a subject is joined by, sometimes there are 2 or more subjects. For example, I say Rashid and Bashir. These are 2 subjects. So what we think, whether they are singular or plural, rule is when 2 or more subjects are joined by and, or require and, joined by and, require a plural verb. 2 or more subjects joined by and. Here this conjunction require a plural verb, require a plural verb, not a singular. For example, I will write here a sentence for you, the brother and sister, the brother and sister dash a nice relationship, a nice relationship. Tell me here whether I write is or are. The brother and sister dash a nice relationship, and in grammar you find some sentences, a husband and a wife, or a husband and wife dash nice couple. Yes, is or are? Oh, that's what I say, you are mistaken. You say is a nice relationship. That's incorrect, because brother and sister, 1 plus 1, it becomes they. It is not he, or it is he and she. And when we write pronoun for them, so it is they. What we will write here? They is or they are. Good. We write here they are. They are a nice couple, or they are a nice relationship when I talk about brother and sister. And a brother and sister is a nice relationship. Incorrect. A brother and a sister are a nice relationship. Like that, a husband and wife are a nice couple. Now rule second. So you might have written the rule now. What is the rule? When two or more subjects are joined by a conjunction and, what we write? We write plural there. Verb is plural. Now another rule, and in this also you will find sometimes exceptions. What kind of exception in this second rule? For example, I will write here, if the subject refers to, see exception, if the subject refers to the same person or thing, very important for you. If the subject refers to the same person or thing, so the verb must be singular, even if it is joined by and. So what rule I am telling you, when two or more subjects are joined by and, we require to write here plural verb. But there are exceptions also in this. When these subjects are joined by and, but it refers to the same person, we write singular verb. I will give you example. For example, the teacher and poet. The teacher and poet dash come. We can write here has or have. See now, teacher and poet. Here it means that one person, Mr. A, he is teacher as well as a poet. Mr. Hassan, he is teacher as well as poet. So I am talking about one person. He is poet as well as teacher. So it is one. When it is one, we require to write here has come, or we will write here is come, not or come or have come. Clear? Or there is one more. For example, a black and white cow. A black, if I write example here, a black and white cow dash grazing in the field. Grazing in the field. Now it means that here cow is only one. Now I can say white and black. White and black is correct here. So here is grazing, not or grazing in the field. Clear now? But one more thing I will tell you. Sometimes when you find that articles are written in both the cases, you must think that it is plural. If I write here the teacher and the poet, or a teacher and a poet, I will write here a teacher and a poet. Now that what is the difference now? You will find here difference. Here it is article, here it is article. So here it means that these are separate persons, Mr. A and Mr. B. So when these are two, so it means the subject is they. So when it is like this, we can write are come. Clear? Now what is the thing that shows here? What is the word that shows here that this is plural? When article is written in both the cases, it means it is plural. Because sometimes students feel that what is the difference between this sentence and this? See the difference. Here is teacher and poet. Article is only written here. A teacher and a poet. So it means that these are two. So we have to write as plural verb. Another rule. The rule is, if the nominative denote one single idea, the verb must be singular. If the nominative denotes one single idea, the verb is singular or must be written in singular. Can you give me any example? Yes? Okay, let me tell you. For example, time and tide. Time and tide. Dash for none. Dash for none. What do you write here? Wait or waits? If I say that this needs a singular verb, which verb do you think that here it is singular? Don't be mistaken. Waits, because third person singular, we add s or es with third person singular. So time and tide waits for none. Clear? Because there are other rules, that's why I want to do things easily for you, or you might know more and more rules. So here when we add s, see the rule now. When we add s or es to a noun, it becomes plural. When we add s or es to a verb, it becomes singular. For example, he plays, they play. They is plural, so play is here plural verb. He plays, so he is singular, plays is here singular verb. So we always add s or es with third person singular when we write it in present indefinite. One more rule. A singular subject, another rule. A singular subject, and you must know this, what this singular subject is. For example, I, you, he, you is also singular as well as plural, but we always use plural verb with you, with second person. You must take it for granted. We will never write is or was or has when you is as a subject. We write always there are or were. So a singular subject joins to another noun or pronoun. A singular subject joins to another noun or pronoun by. There are some words in English when you find these words there. I will write these words. What are these? With, and I will give you some examples, as well as I write here besides. Besides, the word is here, and not, along with, and not, along with, and there is not only but also, etc. Let me tell you first about this rule. A singular subject joins to another noun or pronoun by, if these subjects are joined by these words. So what we do, we need to write a singular verb. So, we will write here takes a singular verb. For example, let me write a sentence. I will write here the teacher along with the students. See the sentence, the teacher along with the students dash. Now, I will write here the word dash come. When I want to put it a singular verb along with the students, the teacher, I can say has come or I can say is come. We cannot write have come or are come. Clear? It needs a singular verb because it is connected here. See, the teacher, then the students. What is the rule? I have told you, when it is connected, when these subjects are connected by these words, with, as well as, besides, and not, along with, we write here subject. This verb must always be a singular one. Note that there is a very important thing that is you have to keep in mind. That is, the verb agrees here with the first subject. Whenever, if I write like this, the students along with the teacher, in English that sentence is said to be as incorrect, because verb, or if we can write that the students along with the teacher, that is not incorrect, that is correct, the students along with the teacher. So, here in English that is considered not as correct one, but we have to write here singular first, then plural, and the verb agrees with the first one. That is the thing. Now, one more rule for this is that singular subject is connected by, when we connect singular subjects with these conjunctions or words, rule is singular subjects connected with either or, neither nor, or we can write some more words, or let me write here or, either or, neither, sometimes we can write nor. So, what we do, what is the rule, what is the verb that we use here? Either he or we write here a singular verb, takes a singular verb. For example, either you or he, either you or he dash to blame, here is the sentence, or dash correct. If I put you this question to you, please, whether we write is or are. Yes, anybody? What did I tell you? It needs a singular verb. So, I can say is to blame, or either you or he is to blame. That is correct. We cannot say or to blame. But there are different, what I say, persons. For example, neither she nor her sister, neither she nor her sister dash come. So, we can write has come, because the verb is singular and we have to write it as a subject is singular, because we have used these with neither and nor. One more rule, if subjects of different numbers are joined by, there are subjects of different numbers, for example, I, you, he, she, we, they. So, what we do there, these are joined by neither and nor. If subjects of different persons, yes, I, you, he, we, they, and these are connected with neither or nor, either or. What we do? The verb must be always plural. The verb is plural. For example, I will write a sentence, neither the teacher nor the students, neither the teacher nor the students, neither the teacher nor the students. So, the verb agrees here with the second one, dash present, dash absent. So, we can say were, we cannot say was. Clear? Now, when the subjects are different persons and are joined by either or, neither nor, the verb agrees with the nearest one. I will tell you, either I or he dash to blame. Nearest, so it is. If I write here either I, either he or I dash to blame, what will you write? We will write am to blame, because am is here nearest. If I say either you or they dash there, neither you nor they. So, here this is the plural and this is the nearest one, we can say are and were, because we have to write what? Plural verb. And here is a very important rule about this. Some nouns are plural in form and they take singular verb, and some nouns are singular in form, they take plural verb. I will write it here. So, note it and write it down, please. Some nouns are plural in form, they take singular verb. Can you give me name of any such noun? Yes, if you talk about your subjects, for example, mathematics, so it looks plural, whereas it is singular. Some nouns are plural in form, mathematics, physics. So, physics is an interesting subject. Mathematics is not a difficult subject. Like that we take. So, here are what are these subjects? Singular, mathematics, physics, or we can say the news. If I say the news dash too good to believe, so we can write is, we cannot write are. So, it looks as if it is plural, mathematics looks as if it is plural, physics looks as if it is plural. So, it takes what? It takes a singular subject. And when a plural noun denotes some specified, there are some nouns that are singular but take plural verb. Some singular nouns take plural verb. For example, cattle, it looks as if it is singular. Cattle are grazing in the field. So, I cannot say is, I can say are grazing in the field, Okay, there is one more word, poultry, Poultry, dash good for health. What do you say? Is or are? It looks as if it is singular, but no doubt it looks singular, but it is always considered as plural.